or we
Hey,
invite this person.
hi everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Adriana and I'm going to be interviewing this person right here. Hi Gabriel, how are you?
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your invitation. And I'm very glad to be talking about my country, which is Canada. So let's do this.
Yeah, I have some question for you. Let's begin with this right away. So tell me, Gabriel, if you had to describe Canada in one feeling or vibe, what would it be and why?
That's a very good question, but I will describe my country, Canada, with two word, which is gonna be calm and strong. It's calm because this is a very peaceful country, very quiet country. It's not like a very like a country that you're gonna see like a lot of parties and that stuff.
Right.
But at the same, people are very resilient. People are very tough in a good way, right?
Yeah, it is
So
what it is.
yeah, because of the weather, I'm telling you that because of the challenge that come with the weather and the problems that people that have to face in their everyday
Every
life
life.
situation. It's not very easy, but at the end we can just
Face
keep
it
going with it.
and
Yeah,
face it.
we can face it.
Yeah, I fully agree with you with that. So do you think the weather in Canada affects people's life emotions in lifestyle?
Oh yeah,
Is
for
that what you're
sure, for
saying?
sure. Yes, definitely. The long winter can make life like slower sometime and sometime more difficult than what it should be. So for sure, yeah, people have to spend sometimes the winter or when the weather get very cold, people have to spend a lot of time indoors. So I think that
Mhm.
affect their emotion. For example, if one day, sometime it happened to me here in my country, sometime I want to go to visit my country, my girlfriend, sorry, but I cannot go outside because it's snowing, a lot of snow, and people cannot drive in
Yeah,
on the
that's right.
streets. So, yeah, definitely affect our emotion. But at the same time, there is a positive way. There is a positive about it. Is that we create habits in order to do more activities indoor or more families activity, and we just get through this situation.
Yeah, you're right. It's like you decide how this situation is going to affect your emotions. Like you're
Yeah,
saying
right.
that it depends on you, right?
Huh? What was?
You're saying that it depends on you, like in the person, how the weather affects your
Yeah,
emotions.
yeah, I think really it really affects our emotion in our life,
Yeah.
real life situation, but also depend how we take it. Do you understand? Yeah. Anyways.
Right. Thank you for that. So tell me, why do you think nature is such an important uh, theme in Canadian stories and songs?
I really think nature is really important because it has been always part of our people, our daily life. For
Mm,
example, the first people, the indigenous communities, they used to depend on nature for surviving. For example,
yeah,
their economy, their everyday life used to depend on nature. So that's why we keep that in our literature and our
yeah,
writing, our music. It's all about nature. That's why we keep like respecting the nature, respecting the flowers, respecting
that's right.
the trees, all that kind of stuff. We really love that.
That's pretty true, and you can tell by just seeing its flag.
Yeah.
So, when you think about Canadian literature, what themes stand out to you? And is there a short story that you feel really represents Canadian identity?
I think Canadian literature often explore themes like nature, survival, identity, and uh, relationship between people, and also the environment. But there is also a strong focus on the history and culture, the diversity, especially indigenous tradition. One of the short history that I really love, and I will encourage everyone that is watching this podcast to read it, is how the raven stole the sun. I encourage you guys that are listening this podcast to read it because it's really interesting. I connect with it because it shows how important is storytelling to us. It talk about how a very intelligent little animal brought light into the darkness. So you can actually see our culture through that literature,
Hmm.
and not just that, through many literature you can actually get to know about our culture.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Thank you for recommend us that short story. So now you know, guys, go and look for How the Raven Stole the Sun. It sounds pretty interesting about if you want to know
It
a little bit
is.
about this beautiful country, Canada. So, looking at Canada's history, what would you say is one positive and one negative impact of colonization by the British Empire?
It's really interesting question that I really feel connected to it. But a positive important is the development of a political institution, our system, our parliamentary democratic. I think that's a really nice part that come from British, and we're really thankful for that. That political system change, and then it's good. But at the same time, the negative impact is in our indigenous people. Colonization led to lose our land, our culture, like the primate culture.
Mm.
So that was a very bad impact from the British, our indigenous culture. Thank you.
Yeah, there are always the good things and the bad things in this British Empire that
Yeah,
has
right.
happening throughout the time. So yeah, thank you so much, Gabriel, for being here. I appreciate it so much.
I
And
really, I really
yeah,
like to be talking to
that
you.
would
So
be
it's
all for
pretty nice.
today. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that would be all for today's podcast. And yeah, see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.